Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. Tonight, we're going to talk about buy and flip deals in 2026, why 2026 is going to be one of the best years to buy and flip in recent history, I would say in the last decade, and the metrics that you must look for on a flip deal. This is a rare session because we're usually talking about buying and holding. It's a 24/7 cash flow university. But flipping, it presents an opportunity for the average bear to get out of the 9 to 5 a little bit faster. I know a lot of you are interested in this. So I just want to walk you through the two big picture line items that I look for on any buy and flip in today's market and why it's so important. This is not the market of a decade ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Things are rapidly changing. So you need to really lock on this information if you want to be successful on your next flip deal. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribed. Share the content with someone who you want to get value. If you're interested in any of our done for you programs, we have our boots on the ground program where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. That's in the Philadelphia area. Just reach out, DM us, drop a comment that says boots on the ground to learn more about how we can just do it all for you. I know a lot of you are busy. You have the aging parents, you're working a 9 to 5, you have the kids. It's a lot to keep up with. And you don't want real estate to become like a second job. So if you need help, reach out. If you're interested in our next ride along tour, we're doing another tour Saturday, February 20th in Philly. You can reach out and try to get some tickets for that, but they're basically almost sold out. We'll bring about 20 to 25 people out and show them our full operation. We're building around 32 houses right now as we speak, maybe even more than that. But we usually will see around 15 to 20 properties in a day, grab lunch together. It's a good way to learn this game hands-on, learn how to flip houses, how to build them, and the cost of construction, all those things that create fear and kind of keep you on the sidelines. And if you just want to learn the game, if you want to learn from my mistakes, my $1 million worth of mistakes, all you have to do is click the link in the description, tap into the 24/7 Cash Flow University. You can test that out for $1. Guys, if you're on IG, you can click the link in my stories and join us on YouTube. There's a lot of links on YouTube. All right, let's get into this thing because we are on limited time. So every flip deal must have these things. If you're a new real estate investor, I'm sure you're struggling with things like finding profitable deals, finding tenants, running comps, knowing your ARVs, managing contractors, building rehab budgets, connecting with lenders. There's a lot to learn as a new real estate investor. Once again, the Boots on the Ground program, we will find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage for you. You can just reach out, DM me about that. Here's what I'm looking for in terms of my two high-level metrics. So I like to keep my flips very simple, but they must have these two things or you're going to fail every time. And the reason why, let me get into kind of 2026 and why 2026 is going to be good. 2026 is going to be really good because of some macroeconomics. One, we've had pretty much pent up investor demand and buyer demand in general. This is just people who want to own properties. You've seen the average age of the first time home buyer go from 34 to like 56. So people have been waiting. That data is a little skewed, but it's showing recent data because people are waiting. A lot of the people in their 30s, they still have the capital and they want to buy, but they've been waiting for rates to come down. Well, guess what? The Fed just started cutting. Rates are going to fall down. And the prediction is that many, many people will hit the market next year and it will create a buying frenzy. Well, when there's a buying frenzy and there's a lot of demand and rates are going down, this is a good time to flip because as interest rates go down, prices go up typically. It becomes cheaper to afford that mortgage payment. So people are willing to pay slightly more. You also are going to have unlocked buyer demand, and we still have constrained supply from COVID. You also have foreclosures are upticked like 23%. So people are looking for good deals. A lot of deals are in foreclosure. They're not on the market. The banks are sifting through them. So there's very low supply, high demand, lower rates, higher prices. This means if you buy a property today and you go to build it, it's going to take you 2 to 3 months to do a gut rehab on a flip deal, maybe 4. While you're building it, rates are going down. The property is appreciating. It's becoming worth more money than it was even worth when you bought it. This means you can sell it for even more in the future than you're predicting. 2026 is that year. If you're going to flip, it's that year to flip. It's a great year. And I think you want to be flipping right when that buyer demand hits, right when the feeding frenzy is there, because no one has that crystal ball. And I believe that people are under projecting the feeding frenzy that is about to happen. So good macroeconomics usually puts you in a good position to win long term, in my opinion. So you always want to bet with the market, not against it. This would be betting with the market that you can do pretty well. And your typical target goal should be around 50,000. You don't want to be touching flips that have a projected profit target of 20,000. It's too easy for the market to turn, to go down. You should be doing flips, by the way, in markets that aren't bubble markets. California can be a bit bubbly in terms of, the average cost of a home being 20x the median income for the average American. You want to be in reasonable markets, affordable markets where prices are affordable, but they're on the upward track. So just know that. Reach out about boots on the ground if you need help there. Here's what I look for first: location, location, location. But what do I mean by that? The neighborhood is more important than the house. This is kind of a news flash for a lot of new investors. I repeat, the neighborhood is more important than the house itself. Meaning, you need to, if you're going to flip, you need to be flipping in neighborhoods that sell themselves, that have demand. These are the top 10 neighborhoods. So if I'm in Philly, I want to flip houses in the top 10 neighborhoods in Philly. I can go on a Google search and say, where are the top 10? What are the hot spots? Where do people want to live? Where's it gentrifying? That's where I want to flip. I don't want to be flipping in B minus class neighborhoods. I don't want to be flipping in the hood. I don't want to be flipping in C class neighborhoods because they're selling the properties cheap. I want to buy in a neighborhood where I just say the neighborhood and people are like, yeah, I would live there. Yeah, I've been looking there. I want to live there because there's amenities, there's sandwich shops, there's local spots. It's a little bit yuppie here. The kids hang out here. There's restaurants here. There's going to be a few different amenities we'll talk about. But make sure you are first and foremost picking your neighborhood for the flip, not just looking for cheap houses. The second step you want to look for is things that buyers pay premiums for. Proximity to jobs. If you're in the inner city, I would say you wouldn't want to try to flip somewhere that's more than 40 minutes from the high paying jobs in the inner city. So if I'm like New York, I don't want to be more than a 30, 40-minute commute from Manhattan, from Midtown Manhattan, where some of the higher paying jobs are. I want to really focus on that because the people who can afford to pay for the high end flips, they're going to have high end jobs that support that, right? So you want to do this in the right areas, but you want to be thinking about their lifestyle. How are they going to get to work? What's the commute? What's the train line? These are the things that are going to drive value. These are the things that are going to bring in the right buyers, because you don't just want people who want to buy the house. You want the people with the money who can afford to buy your house. Good school districts. The schools should be within a 5 to 10 minute radius, because the people with the money, they're working all the time. They don't have time to do a 20 minute commute to school and back, especially for the younger kids. When they have those little guys, guess what? The little guys go to school. They're in school at 8:30, drop off at 8:30, pick up at 1:45. So it's got to be close. It's got to be a lifestyle. Boom, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, grab and go. That has to fit into their scenario. If it does, they're going to pay a premium. And good schools. Are there magnet schools? Are there schools that, hey, we have the schools for autistic kids. Hey, we have the special needs schools. We have the learning disability schools. We have the school for the deaf here. Do they have these specialty magnet schools within this district? Because people who are looking for that, they're going to pay the premium, because, hey, I can buy there, and they have the special school for my one kid, my third kid, they're autistic. I need the specialty school. That's very important. So you want to do that research. You're first and foremost trying to build the lifestyle for this buyer. So that's very important. Walkability and amenities. Is there a sandwich shop they can walk to in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or drive to in 5 to 10 minutes? 5 to 10 minutes is like the holy grail. Everything they do has got to be 5 to 10 minutes so it can fit. Is there, a pharmacy nearby? Is there a grocery store 5 minutes away? Gas station 5 minutes away? Build out that Dargon Lifestyle. Somebody saying, how can I reach you? Just DM me. If you're on IG, just DM me. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment. We'll grab it, send you contact information. Just look out for the reply. Drop your comments with questions as well. But if you want to reach me and you're on IG, just DM me. If you're on YouTube, just drop a comment or text us back however you got here. Email us back. Or you can email or text kind of the link scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can reach out. So we got good school districts, walkability, and focus on walkability. Like, think about your own lifestyle. For me, if you're in an inner city, it's like, can I walk out of my house, walk 2 blocks, and there's a good, deli. There's a really good deli that I like. I can get a sandwich. I can get a hoagie. Then there's a coffee shop, and there's a lot of amenities very close by. That's very important. Public transportation, extremely important. More important in the inner city than rural areas because everybody has the car in the rural area. But even rural, like taking it back to New York, if you lived in Westchester, if you lived in the suburbs of New York City, can you get on a mass transit line and get into the jobs? And can you get there on a speed train? Is there an express line? Can I get there in 30 minutes? Because now I'm building out that perfect lifestyle where you can live in the suburbs, but also get to the city very quickly and get in and out. Safety perception. How safe is the neighborhood? That's important, especially when people are buying, they're raising young kids. They want to make sure the neighborhood is relatively safe, that the neighbors are friendly. So you want to do this in areas where there's high owner occupancy. You don't want to do this in the rental neighborhoods. People don't like to buy, and then everybody around them is a renter. They're throwing trash in the street. They're not respecting their properties because they don't own anything. That's very important. So you want to look at the safety perception. We have some tools. If you click the link in the description, you can tap into our 24/7 Cash Flow University. There are tools we can give you. You can join for $1 and test out the information that cost me millions of dollars worth of mistakes. It'd be foolish not to, if you're serious about real estate. If you're not serious, then don't waste your time. And then here's why bad locations kill, even beautiful flips. You can build the nicest property. You can have the nicest amenities. You can put the rooftop deck. But if the neighborhood doesn't feel safe, the public transportation's not there, it's not walkable, there's no good amenities, the school districts suck, the proximity to the jobs isn't there, you're not going to get a fast sale. What can I say? It's going to take you 90 to 120 days, half a year to get a deal sold. And it's not worth it. You'd rather buy the neighborhood, because when the neighborhood sells and the property sells, now you have the recipe. This is how you get a 30-day or less sale. And we've just done 3 flips that have sold in about 30 days or less in the last 3 months. So we're giving you data. I think that's what's unique about us. There are a lot of talking heads out there, but what we talk about, I'm constantly building houses. We are building somewhere between 32 to 35 properties right now in today's market. So what we're talking about is very current, and you have to be current. I wouldn't be saying a lot of these things even 2 years ago because supply was so low that it didn't matter. People are just looking for a damn deal anywhere. But now the market is starting to balance itself out as buyer demand is unlocked with lower interest rates. So you need to be more selective if you want to win. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else who you want to get value, somebody who's looking to flip, somebody who's looking to make some extra money. And if you're interested in our done for you programs, click the link in the description, tap in to our 24/7 Cash Flow University, DM me, reach out, drop a comment that says boots on the ground, DM me boots on the ground on IG. And that's our program where we will find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage for you. We do it all for you. We manage at 5% of rent collected, which is cheaper than the market. Most people will charge you 10%, but we're going to always do things differently, a little cheaper, so you guys can have more cash flow. Let's get into the second thing. The second thing, your property must have the right appeal. Here are some of the things you need to think about. Here are features that buyers overpay for. The layout, the first floor, especially on like a row home or something in the inner city. I open that door on a row home. I want to be able to see the kitchen from the front door. Even if the kitchen's all the way in the back of the property, I want that open first floor. I want my little kids to be able to run from the front to the back of the house. If you're like me, my kids at times have had, I don't let them do it anymore, but when they were really young, They had scooters. They're freaking scooting in the house. They need some free run, free roam space. If you're cooking in the kitchen, you got to be able to see your 2-year-old. You don't know what they're getting into. You need that open layout first floor plan. This is knowledge that will come to you as you do more deals. If you haven't done a deal before, you need to talk to professionals. You need to have your architect lay that out for you and let you know what you can build and what's a load-bearing wall and what can't be moved. As you get more advanced, you just know. So you know, hey, I can blow this property up, open it up, and it's going to pop. But you need that open first floor. Second floor, third floor, bedrooms, all that stuff doesn't matter. First floor has got to be wide open. Natural light is important. Lots of windows is good. Having end units is good. More windows, the better. The more natural light, the better. That's always really important. Parking. For me, it depends. Like if somebody's buying in the inner city and there's not a lot of parking, but there is on-street parking. I've seen actually in Philly, in certain neighborhoods, they actually started doing permit parking for certain neighborhoods. So for the high-end neighborhoods, you're not going to see this in C class, but in the A class, they're just going to petition so the block gets permit parking only. So if somebody doesn't have that sticker in their window, they're going to get towed. So you maintain comfortable parking in front of your house. You want to research these things. Like, how am I going to park if this person has a car? But do you have off-street parking? Do you have a garage? That's going to be a bonus. Yard and outdoor space. Having a nice backyard is important. You don't need to go crazy with that. I mean, certainly if you have a house on half an acre, it's going to have more value than a house that's not. But value is relative. You're just trying to buy things that you can rehab and have a profit spread. But bigger houses, more land, that could sell to the right buyer. But even a property without the land, there are people who are like, I don't want to have to cut the grass and maintain all of that. So they're not looking for that. So it really depends on if they have kids who are going to use that space or not. Yard and outdoor space, we covered that. Ceiling height, bigger ceilings, they really do give you, somebody said fire content. Thanks. I appreciate you guys dropping really positive comments. And if you guys have questions, drop in the chat, drop in the comment section. I'll try to turn to that if we have any time. Ceiling height adds a lot. It adds a lot. Going from an 8-foot ceiling to an 11-foot ceiling or a 12-foot or a 16-foot vaulted ceiling, even though you can't live in the airspace, it gives your property a depth. It gives it an aura. When somebody walks in, it is more peaceful. It's quieter. The house breathes better. It is going to be more expensive to heat and maintain and cool, but it does give that property just a different depth. Those are going to sell faster than properties without higher ceilings. So understand that. And if there are areas in the property where you can open up that ceiling or have a vaulted ceiling, that's going to give you big ARV. Curb appeal, that's important. You can add that, and that's pretty cheap. But curb appeal, pound for pound, what you need to know is if you drop $5,000 on the curb appeal, it could boost your ARV by 25K. It could boost the true sales price by 25K. The return on investment for pouring money into curb appeal, huge. I'm going to give you another hack that I've seen the hugest ROI on, but I'm going to get to that later. Hopefully I don't forget. Somebody will remind me. Rehabs enhance appeal. They don't create it. So there is a element of the neighborhood, how the property sits, how the land lot is positioned. You want to kind of look for things that catch your eye. If it catches your eye, it can catch someone else's eye. You can't rehab a bad layout. Some of these properties have bad layouts. They have walls that are structural and can't be removed. Some of these things you can't fix. And a dark house that's not well lit, that's got low ceilings, these are just going to be troublesome properties that they're just never going to sell for market value or over market. People aren't going to fight for them. So you're going to have to fire sale them. You could lose money. I mean, if you're projecting a 50K profit target, you might break even on that deal if it doesn't have like the lighting and the high ceilings and some of the curb appeal aspects. One thing I've seen that I was not shocked by, but that I've noticed, if you put let's take the average row home, try to flip that row home with no fireplace. And I'm talking a fake fireplace. We just frame out a wall. We put in an electric fireplace. We might tile it or give it some type of a rustic look. The same house, and the cost to do this is maybe $2,000 to add in the fireplace, right? $2,000. Adding in the fireplace could get you, if you drop 2 grand, it could boost the property value by like 40K. It's like nothing I've ever seen. The property will sell 4 times faster and at a price way higher than if you don't put in that fireplace or that accent wall. When they walk in that first floor, they need to see some piece that makes them feel like, damn, I got to show this to somebody. When you give them that sexy fireplace when they walk in and they look to the left and they're like, damn, even though it's fake, it just gives it that pop. And they're thinking about, oh, when a neighbor see this, oh, when my brother sees this, when my cousin sees this, when my parents see that, they're thinking that in their head. Man, that thing pops. Man, we can sit in front of the fireplace. This is new. This is sexy. It's a feature that has a higher perceived cost than it actually costs to do. And these are the most important things for you to focus on. Curb appeal has a similar element. Planting a couple of trees could really pop the value on your property. So there you have that for property appeal. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else who you want to get value. If you're interested in learning just how to do this yourself, click the link in the description, click the link in bio, tap into the 24/7 Cash Flow University. You can test the course content for $1. You can tap into a trial, test it out. It's $1 million worth of game, worth of mistakes. It will accelerate you over a decade. It's literally the knowledge I gained from building and pushing through over 300 rehabs over the course of a decade. So it will give you a ton of value. So definitely lock in on that. Here's a quick checklist. I want to leave you guys with something that you can do that is actionable. Feel free to take a screenshot of this if that's helpful, if you want to save it for later. Here's a quick checklist for how to screen flips. And it's very fast. One, would you want to live there? Does it pass that quick eyeball test where you're like, neighborhood check, property check, bedroom, bathroom count check, square footage check, backyard check? Like, would you want to live here? Would you raise a family here? That's a great indicator, because if you would, and you're a reasonable person, chances are they would. I'm going to answer your question, TIB girl 345. I'll answer your question in just a second. Number 2, would a retail buyer fight for this? So is this a unique property? Are there elements about it that are like unique? Like we did one flip and it had a second floor balcony, and it's just on a beautiful block. And it's like, damn, you can't get the second floor balcony in Philly like this. They don't really have these in most places. And it was an old Victorian rustic looking property in Germantown with the old architecture and the style, and it had walkability. And it's just like, damn, you can't get this. This is unique. Somebody's going to fight for this. That one sold in less than 30 days. That one sold in like 2 weeks. Does the location sell before the finishes? So are there people, you'll see this. I mean, you might not know this before your first deal, but when you do a deal, you'll start seeing this. People be walking by and knocking on the damn door. Hey, what's going on in here? You guys doing some work here? Yeah, I'm interested in buying. Can we get, or I'm interested in renting. You'll start having people kind of fighting for it even while you're rehabbing it. That's a dead giveaway that this is a good neighborhood where you want to be looking for more deals. Does the house already have the bones? Is it already built out in a way where it's got the structure to be made into something beautiful? We did one flip that we show a lot of people. It's like a $70,000 flip. It sold very quickly, but it was a big, 2,900 square feet. It had an old staircase that, I mean, you could drop 100K and not get a staircase like this. They don't build them like that anymore. Those types of features, people are going to overpay for. It's the bones. Is it structurally tight? This property doesn't really have any structural issues. It's solid. It's big. If that property's got bones, you can make something beautiful out of bones in this game. So guys, hopefully that helped. I'm going to turn for any questions. Once again, if you need help, if you're busy, you have capital, you definitely want to have at least like 25,000 to 50,000 to play with before you get into this game, whether you're trying to buy and hold or flip. This is not a game to come into with 10 grand right now. You can house hack with 10 grand or less. I did my first deal with 5,000. So I don't want to be hypocritical. There are ways, but if you want to flip a property, you got to have some capital. You want to have 25 to 50,000. You need at least a 620 credit score. you want to be in a position to qualify with good lenders. If you need help getting connected, having deal analysis done, rehab budgets put together, us handling the rehab for you and taking our Brazilian crew and just handling everything, and then putting tenants in place, managing or helping you to list and flip a property, but something that you can do quickly, just reach out, DM us Boots on the Ground, drop a comment that says Boots on the Ground, and me and the team will reach out. We'll connect. A lot of people are surprised. They're like, "Oh, wait, Brian's on the horn. We're connected with Brian one-on-one." They're surprised by that. But I don't let anybody into our program unless we connect one-on-one and I know you're a good fit, because we're busy. I don't have time to waste or play around. This is not a game. This is serious business. So if you need help, reach out about Boots on the Ground. We'll get you locked in. If you just want to get access to the course content, and DM me. If you're on IG, DM me Boots on the Ground. I'll take a quick screenshot, but DM me Boots on the Ground on IG. If you're on YouTube, drop the comment. On IG, DM me, so we'll get that and reach back out and try to get you on the horn so you can learn more. But if you want to just learn the game, once again, there are a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there. Perfectly fine. Click the link in the description. Tap into the course content for $1. This course content is better than what people are paying $3, $4, $5. Some people are paying $20,000 and not getting access to this course content, this level. So don't cheat yourself. For $1, you can taste test it. It's at that link, 247cashflowtraining.com /university. You can taste test it for $1 for a week. Try to, see if it's something you like, if it's giving you value, stick around. It gives you access to our inner circle calls as well, which we're about to transition to, which are private Q&A sessions every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Zoom with just the people who are kind of in the community. So we're going to pivot to that. I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and then we're going to shift over to the private Q&A. But you can always click that link in the description and tap in. Hopefully this helped, but definitely if you've been thinking about flipping, and we don't talk about flips a lot. We're the 24/7 Cash Flow University. We like to hold. We like to cash flow. We like to get paid over and over again for what we did, not for what we're doing. But every dog has its day. And there is a time and a place to flip, to create liquidity, to get more money to buy and hold. So if you want to buy and flip, make sure you watch this a couple of times. Some of the information may go over your head. Make sure you lock in. Let me check on this question on IG. What budget to start this business? I already answered that. I have a primary single family house for myself. Yeah, to start this business, 25 to 50,000 and a 620 credit score. If you have that, if you have 50K sitting in the bank and a 620 or better, then you got to be asking yourself, why am I not in the game yet? It's probably fear. It's probably lack of knowledge, some of those things. If you don't have it, you want to stack up, or you want to learn how to wholesale, flip your money up a little bit. We've helped some people to wholesale. They flipped up 25,000, 40,000, and then they were able to start buying and holding. So, if you want to learn how to do that wholesale, how to invest and use other people's money, you can always click that link in the description, click that link in bio, go to 247cashflowtraining.com /university, and you can get started there. But guys, I really do hope this helps you guys. Watch this over and over again. We're going to be dropping some new type of content on the YouTube channel. I have a new video editor I hired. They're putting together some really cool whiteboard tutorials that are going to accelerate you guys. So make sure you subscribe, lock in. We're closing in. I think we're at 47,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're closing in on 50,000. I think we might hit it before the year is out. So make sure you're a part of it. Share the content with other people that you want to help, that you want to get value, because it's not just about you. If you make your circle tight, if you get other people kind of motivated around you, now instead of talking to your friends about the weather, you're talking to them about real estate. You guys are building each other up, and you're going to go further with this game working for you versus you just crushing a 9-to-5, hoping for the best. Hope that helps. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor. I will see you guys on the next one, and I'll see all my inner circle people on the inner circle call. If you want to be a part of that inner circle and get the knowledge and the Q&A, click that link, 247cashflowtraining.com /university. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor. I'll see you guys there.